I'm John Burgess, and our expert today is
David Hochletubby, gerontologist, executive director of Vintage Sonoma.
Welcome, David.
Thank you.
You know, many times we see a family member caring for a loved one in the home, and this is really, really difficult. Are they really making the best choice when they're doing that?
Not typically, and you know, I empathize because I did it myself and found out the hard way, and in fact that's the prelude to my becoming a gerontologist. I was a dot-commer and was strapped with taking care of my grandmother, and it was real difficult. And as a gerontologist, it's very difficult for me stepping into a situation and seeing, in particular, the spousal caregiver situation, where there's a real extreme commitment to until death do us part, and in sickness and in health. And so they undertake this burden, this task, thinking that they know what they're doing, and down the road find themselves in a perilous situation. And I have to say this, because I'm going to be quite honest, as a stern warning to the audience, I have seen in my career my fair share of otherwise healthy spouses preceding their loved one in death.
The whole care issue.
Absolutely.
And the stress of that.
Absolutely. You know, and I used the analogy recently at a talk at the Commonwealth Club about getting on an airplane, and the stewardess goes through her recitation, and I'm sure we could almost recite it ourselves. In the event of sudden cabin pressure loss, an oxygen mask will fall from the ceiling. Now, who does that stewardess say to put it on first? On us. And we don't do that. What good are we as caregivers if we're burnt out ourselves? It's at that point you need to recognize and say, you know what, hey, I need some help. And that's where we come in.
As a culture, we do have a tendency, especially on this issue, of delaying every decision. Why is that?
There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of pain, and in fact, I've boiled it down to two specific pains. I'm not going to hide the fact. This is not an easy process. There are two pains involved. There's the pain of due diligence, which is enduring the psychological traumas, the stress, the guilt, the fear, the shame, the self-doubt, the denial, the projection, all that stuff, and seeing through to the end and actually finding quality care. That pain can be reconciled. It's the other pain that I get the most concerned about, and that's the pain of regret due to inaction. Something catastrophic happens, and you're not going to get that back.
Well, great information, and certainly more available when you go to your website. Why don't you give us that web address?
VintageSenior.com.
Great. Thank you, David.
My pleasure. Thank you.